Hello, and welcome to another edition of Delta Media Group's Tech Tuesday, where we tell you everything you ever wanted to know about the DeltaNet and just a little bit that you didn't. So, today, I discovered recently that I'm not a big fan of videos, especially instructional videos on YouTube with really long intros, so I'm just going to jump right into it. And today, we're going into Ecards. So here we are in DeltaNet version 5. And in order to set up an eCard, we're going to go down to the Customers tab and down to eCards. And here we are. So this is our full selection of all the eCards that you can choose from. And we kind of break these down into categories. So as we go up to the top here, we can filter by these different categories. And there are a few different basic kinds of eCards. There are some that will import your listing information automatically, and there are some that don't require any listing information at all. So I'll just go through an example of each one of those three so we can get a look at them. So first off, let's go down to New Listing. So the New Listing eCards will automatically pull in the listing information for whatever listing you choose. So as we go through these, we'll just click on any one of them here. This will automatically populate with your own listing, but if there are other company listings that you want to create an eCard for, you can just punch in the MLS number for it here, or the address, and it'll autocomplete the list below so that you can select from other ones. So we'll go ahead and select my own listing for fun. Now, different eCards have different options available to them. This one allows a headline, so we could type in a eCard headline, look at my new listing. There you go, and preview eCard. And then here's what this one looks like. Now all the eCard templates look a little bit different, but you can see that it automatically populates with the listing information here. Also, once you're looking at this preview page, you can edit individual items here. So as we roll the mouse around, we see the phone number is highlighted with that dotted line. That means that we can edit it. So if we click on it, we can modify it here. We would say save. What have I done? Okay. Do the same thing with the comments. Address and price, you can modify all those just specifically on this eCard. And if you were to modify something like price, it's just what appears in this section. So you wouldn't actually have to put a price in there. If you didn't want to display the price on this, for example, or on another eCard, you could remove it, or you could change it to just a different line of text or whatever you want. So once you have your eCard set up the way you want it, you just go down here and click Send to eCard. That brings you to your page where you'll choose who you want to send it to. Now the eCard system will allow you to select from any of the groups you've created in your Customer Center. So if I were to select one of these and just hit send, it would send only to members of that group. Or, unlike most of the other systems in the DeltaNet, with eCards, you can enter individual email addresses. So most of the other systems, in order to send to a customer, it has to be associated with a customer account because it'll use that information to track it. And this, you can just go down here and you can enter up to 10 individual email addresses to send this eCard out to. Once you have all those entered, you just go down here and click Send eCard, and it'll go out to everyone you have entered here and everyone you have selected here. Now, a couple other things to point out about this page is that under eCard Subject, you can set the actual, what is going to be in the subject line for this email. And you can also set a date sometime in the future for it to send automatically. But one thing to keep in mind there is, for example, if I say I want to send this out to Supergroup, and I say I want to send it out on the 19th, why not? So by doing that, this will automatically queue this eCard to go out to the recipients that are in this group right now. And the reason I mention that is because if I were to say delete 5 people from this group between now and the day that the eCard's set to go out, the eCard will still go to those 5 people because it went into the mail queue to go with the people in that group at the time it was set to go out, not the date it was scheduled for. So it doesn't check again on the date that it's scheduled for. So it's something to keep in mind if ever you are going through these and setting eCards to go out in the future. All right, so if we take a look at the other types of eCards, we'll go down here to open houses. This is always a good example. If we pick one of these, we'll see that you attach your listing information to it, or whatever listing, whatever company listing you want that you search with this box. You can attach that the same way, but under open house information, you can put in the time and date of your open house so that that automatically fills in on the eCard. So we'll do that. We'll say eCard preview. And here we are. And you can see the open house information's up here at the top. And then also in this preview screen, you could edit this open house information. Now, another thing you can do in a lot of eCards that have listing information attached is you can click on this main image and you can change it to another image for that listing. But since this listing only has one, we only get the one. All right, and then just like the other eCards, you would say eCard preview, send eCard, and you'd fill out all this information the same. You click send and it goes out. Now the last kind of eCard in here is an eCard that doesn't require any kind of information on it, or any kind of listing information. So if we go up to holidays, these are all pretty much built for you. So if we pick, for example, well, St. Patrick's Day, one of my favorites. Looks like we're not quite lined up there, but it should be lined up in the email. But this is already filled in with all the information you need, so you don't attach any listing information to it. But as you went through here, if you clicked on any of the fields that highlight, you could change that information on the eCard. Other than that, there's nothing really you have to do to it. You go in here, you hit send, and then send. Now the other thing you can do here, you can set this, you can put in your own email address here so that you can see a preview of exactly what it'll look like. What you don't want to do is send one to yourself and then forward it from your own email off to all the customers you want it to go to. Because every eCard that goes out with an unsubscribe link on it. So if any of your customers were to click the unsubscribe link on the email that went to you, they're going to unsubscribe you instead of unsubscribing them from the system. So that's why you want to send it directly to each customer through here. All right, and then I'll also point out one other thing with eCards. We have some general ones in here. So if we go to generic, you can just pick from one of these eCards, and we'll go with one of these. There we go. So there's no information on this, no listing information on this. You can just fill this out with whatever you want. And then you can also fill it out here, and all it is just a basic eCard that populates with your contact information and your picture, and then it allows you to fill it out however you want to from there. So there's not much you can customize graphically on these. You know, that part is designed to be built for you. But you can go in with something like this and you can modify the text however you want to make an eCard for whatever kind of event you wanted. All right. Now the last thing in the eCard system that I find to be important, if we go up here to the top right while we're on the eCard page, we have this View History button. And this is how you can keep track of all the eCards you sent in the past. So it shows which eCard it was, which eCard template you used. And if you roll over, it gives you the actual template number. The date it was sent, if it was associated with a property, it gives you the MLS number and the address of the property, and how many it sent. There you go, eCard history. So that is the gist of the eCard system in the DeltaNet 5. So feel free to go in there, play around, get a look at the eCards, and as always, if you have any questions, feel free to send us an email at support@deltagroup.com. Give us a call or fire up the live chat in the DeltaNet if you have access to that, and we'll be happy to help you out. As always, thanks for joining me, and I will see you, well, you'll see me next week.